US stocks posted a third week of losses in the past four, capping a volatile stretch after the US government reported a big loss in jobs. US stock benchmarks were pushed lower on Friday by a dire monthly jobs report, which gave Wall Street more proof of how hard the coronavirus pandemic has hit the economy. The Standard & Poor's 500 index fell by 1.5% to end at 2,488.65 as energy shares gave back gains after crude prices eased. For the week, the S&P 500 shed by 2%. However, this week, the index started to rebound. The United States lost 701,000 jobs in March, the Labor Department said, the first decline in job creation in a decade. The unemployment rate last month rose to 4.4% from 3.5%. In other economic data, two reports on the US services sector activity showed sharply different pictures of that segment of the economy in March. The market US services Purchasing Managers Index was at 39.8, the steepest decline in its decade-long history, but the non-manufacturing index from the Institute for Supply Management was 52.5, down from 57.3, showing growth but the slowest pace since August 2016. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped by 360.91 points on Friday to close at 21,052.53. For the week, the Dow fell by more than 2.5%. Hopefully, the new data this week suggests that efforts to contain the coronavirus pandemic may be starting to pay off. Global markets moved higher after Spain, Italy and the United States recorded lower death rates. The number of deaths in New York State has also begun declining for the first time. Meanwhile, the tech-heavy NASDAQ Composite Index closed at 7,373.08 on Friday, posting a 1.5% fall for the week. There is still much uncertainty, but the panic selling, which dominated the first few weeks of the sell-off, has come to beat since Washington lawmakers unleashed massive amounts to aid to help markets and the economy. Among stocks in the green, Kraft Heinz rose as the company's growth accelerated in the wake of very strong consumer demand for its products and trusted brands, despite significant declines in food service and related sales around the world. The stock rose by 2.7% to close at $25.32 on Friday, posting a 4.4% weekly rise. It extended the rally this week. Kraft also said it expects a first quarter sales gain of 3% and about a 6% rise in organic sales. Meanwhile, American Express was among stocks in the red last week. American Express shares ended at $73.60 on Friday, posting an intraday 4% fall and a weekly 17% decline. However, this week the stock price is rebounding. The shares traded higher over the trading session on Monday, gaining 13.95%. The company spent $801 million trying to sell their products during the last quarter, with the result yielding a gross income of $2.28 billion. This allows shareholders to hold on to $839.28 million, with a revenue now reading 2.08 cents per share. You are watching a weekly review of a US stock market on InstaForex TV channel with me, Kate Stichina. We wish you profitable deals.